Hello traders, very good afternoon. Today is the 26th November 2019. Current time is 3:41 p.m. IST. The market has just closed 10 minutes back, 11 minutes back to be precise. And this is episode 42 for the post-market analysis by Trade Education. And before I share today's analysis, let me just quickly go through the quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for everyone. Also, whatever information I'm sharing cannot be used for any trade related activities and is for educational purposes only. So with that, let's quickly, have a walkthrough of, how the auction developed today. And let me just share my screen and, let's first go to the daily chart. So from the daily chart, what's happening is the all-time high, which was the around the election results which came in. So it got tagged today. So sellers, it got tagged today. So this reference has now become weak. And also, if you see, this was a weaker reference. If you're seeing on the screen, when we had a weak high which got cleared today, and one more all-time high has been formed today. So now let me just quickly go through the market profile chart. But before that, I would just like to share as I'm also seeing a sort of divergence in RSI and in MACD. So there is a sort of divergence, which I'm seeing as soon as the prices are going higher. So is it a strong? Is it the real, or is it the actual all-time high? Like that, that will be known from the market profile chart. So let me just quickly jump to the market profile chart. Okay. So some of the reference areas, which I had carried forward for monitoring today is yesterday's low, the all-time high, yesterday's high, and yesterday's close. Okay, so let me just start off what happened from today's open. So first of all, yesterday's close was bullish. It was way above the point of control and it was near the highs. Okay, so that is one data point that we have a bullish close. Okay, now second data point is how strong is the open. So this is today's open, and what you see is, or let me, this is today's open, and what you see is it is a gap up opening. So it is a gap up opening, gap up opening, and it's a strong opening. So indicating that we have a sort of continuation, and what I'm expecting is to have a continuation higher. So what happened is, as soon as the auction opened, it tried to reach yesterday's range, it just got stopped at the yesterday's high. So this was a very weak reference, so from the intraday perspective. So these two were very good, strong bullish references or bullish points. We had a good bullish close yesterday. We also had a gap up and a bullish open today. The third data point, which I had is today's A period low was weak. Okay, the A period low was weak, so this was a very important reference. And if we don't see continuation on the higher side, then and if the A period is taken out, then that is a good trade location to go for a short trade. So that is what overall I had in my mind. But I did not. So today I was not able to take a single trade because I was pretty busy with some of the customer meetings, and then I just thought let me get some clarity, and I was not getting any clarity. Then there were some ad hoc meetings which were coming up. So today I had not taken any single trade, but overall what I'm seeing is overall we have a small excess on the highs. We are at the all-time high. This is the all-time high. So let me just mark this, take forward this reference level. The all-time high is 12138.75, or we can say 12140. Okay, so 12140 or 12150. So a lot of call writing would be happening at 12150 levels. So this is just a thought. Okay, so let me start. So once the A period was taken out, then what happened is the B period started. So when the B period, so A period did not took out in the B period. What happened is that today, if you see today's auction, A period happened, Then B period was again, trailing above the above the yesterday's high, this reference level, and it was trying to reach higher. So what was happening is, as soon as the all-time high was taken out, we were unable to see new business coming in, or new players or new buyers stepping in. And always the market or the auction always goes up to find sellers, and the auction always goes down to find buyers. Always remember this, auction market theory principle. Okay, this is the AMT. Always remember this. So what happened is, we saw a lack of continuation on the higher side, and there were lack of sellers, so no new business was interested to sell, or to buy. And then what happened is, the B period, it was just sort of finding a sort of exhaustion. And then as soon as it came below the A period low, that was a good trade location where you could have entered the shorts with exiting, keeping your target at at this HVN, and second target of this point of control. Okay, so those were two big targets from the intraday perspective. And if you traded today, I would like to congratulate you, because this is a pretty good move. So this is of 68 points, and the second move is of 84 points. So if you traded today understanding the overall context, and if you traded till the end, or to see what actually happened, then good for you guys. I'm happy that you are actually understanding the overall market profile, understanding the context, trading. So what happened is, today A period, then the B period, then the C period. So it was one time framing till C period. Then we had this sort of weaker high which got created, and this is the HVN, where again the buyers started stepping in. So what happened is, at this particular HVN, buyers again started stepping in. They were trying really hard to take the auction higher. But what happened is, this was more of a pullback, wherein sellers again were strong here, because again it was in the territory of the sellers. And then again they clearly, this was a stop hunting activity. It got tagged the point of control, it also tagged the HVN, so both your targets could have met. And then once the point of control got tagged, the buyers again started stepping in. And now if you see today, the auction, they are really trying hard to take it higher. And also today's close is also bullish. So tomorrow what I'm expecting is, so all-time high and high. Okay, all-time high and high are same. So let me mark this as the axis, as a reference, this as the close, which I'll be taking forward for tomorrow. Also guys, one more thing is, I got a comment that the close which I'm using as a reference is not the actual close. It is the actual close is a bit different, when the market closes. So the reason is, I'm just using it as a reference point. This is just some of the references to understand the overall context, what is happening, and where the auctions are getting rejected. Okay, so if you don't want to use this close, you can use this LTP, or you can use, I'm okay with it, but for my market profile understanding, I'm using it. So I hope that answers your question. Okay. So what I'm seeing is, sellers were trying really hard. And then in the second session, post the mid session, buyers started stepping in. So today's close is also bullish. It is about the point of control. And tomorrow what I'm seeing is, what will be happening at this level and this particular level. So tomorrow I'm expecting again a sort of balancing activity, because there are the single prints here, and if we merge these two profiles, we'll be seeing a sort of balance. So sort of balance needs to be, so there are some single prints, there are some balancing needs to be created. Okay, it needs to be happen. So today if you see, the value is higher compared to yesterday, and yeah, this is the value, yesterday's value, and this is today's value. Overall the value is small, and here we had a pretty wide, because this was more of an inventory adjustment break, or a stop hunting activity which happened yesterday. So tomorrow what I'm seeing is, whether the tomorrow's open is bullish or bearish, or else this is the reference area which I'll be taking forward, sort of a rally high. and what's how the auction reacts to it. So, and yeah, so that's what I'll be taking forward for Nifty. Now let me quickly jump to Bank Nifty, and in Bank Nifty, let's quickly first look at the daily chart. And what I'm seeing is the all-time high of the Bank Nifty was also weak. Okay, so let me just scroll to the right, and so there are three areas where sellers were trying very hard to sell the auction, or take the auction down, and today also that level has reached. So I would say again the high for today is a bit again a weak from the daily chart perspective. And what I'm seeing is we are seeing a nice uptrend. We are still following the trend, and buyers are still winning the auction. So this is a very important reference which I'll be taking forward. 31,000, what happens at this particular level, because this is where the support is acting, because it took out a major swing high. Okay, so that is what I'm looking from the daily chart. Now let me quickly jump to the market profile chart. So some of the references which I was monitoring today were yesterday's high, yesterday's close, and yesterday's low. So there were multiple single prints, uh, and today's low is also weak in Bank Nifty. So what has happened is, we had a bullish close. We had a bullish close, and today this is today's open. So we also have a bullish open, and then it tried to find new businesses, which was completely failed, and the seller started stepping in the B period high. So once the B period high seller started stepping in, there were some intra-bar halfback reference levels which were generating, which were easily taken out in today's market, or the auction development process. So what happened is, once the B period, there was failure to continuation. So there was no range extension. But what happened is, in the C period is where buyers again started stepping in, wherein it stopped at yesterday's close. So this again became a very weak reference, and it took out the auction again. The auction tried to reach, or enter yesterday's range. Buyers started stepping in, and again the auction started to the auction was was building above the yesterday's high. Okay, so what is happening is, there is no lack of we are not seeing any continuation, but we are seeing a sort of balancing activity. Okay, so it was nothing but those weak players who were just trying to go long through and trying to go long, and this is where the sellers again started stepping in, and that's how they took down this weaker references, they close, and the auction stopped at this LVN. Okay, auction stopped at this LVN. There were lack of buyers, or I would say sellers exhausted, and buyers started stepping in, and again they took out the auction into yesterday's, or above the yesterday's range. So Nifty, sorry, Bank Nifty also looks a bit bullish. The point of control is above, or the developing point of control is above the yesterday's range, and we have a new high. So I would say not a new high, but this high is a pretty weak high. We also have a strong bullish close. So tomorrow, what I'm expecting is continuation to the higher side, and continuation to the higher side, and also looking forward for new buyers or new business to step in. If that does not happen, then what we'll be seeing is clearing all this single prints, this single prints, and the auction clearing all this, tagging this HV and this V chain, and there are stops which are getting built here. So that is what currently I'm looking from the longer's perspective in Bank Nifty. Now let me jump to Reliance, and Reliance, we have this peacock rejection. So this was yesterday's, we had a balanced day where both sellers and buyers were stepping in. They were actual at an agreement. So this is the fairest price. And what happened is, this is today's open. It tried to reach above the yesterday's high. So it was a gap up opening, and again sellers started stepping in. So this is the reference level wherein the sellers again started stepping in. once the auction came within this 20th November high, that would be a good opportunity for you to go take a short trade with target the PPOC level. Once you reach this PPOC level, then you should have taken a long trade. You should have reversed your position, because there was very less time spent at this level, indicating that this is a strong reference. This is a new low, and then you could have just waited for how the auction developed. Overall, from the profile perspective, value is developing higher. We are still seeing a sort of balanced activity, and tomorrow I'm seeing continuation to the higher side, as this particular reference, a major high has been taken out. So tomorrow I'll be seeing what is happening at the today's high. So that is what I'm currently looking in the Reliance chart. And let me quickly jump to the crude oil chart and see what's currently happening in the overnight session. So yesterday what we had is we had a balanced profile in the overnight session with poor highs which got taken out, and again in the US session it formed one more balanced session. So buyers are pretty strong, sellers are also pretty strong, and right now where the auction is developing is it got rejected at this PPOC level, or in the US session, or at the US session PPOC. So this is today's open. It tried to reach the high, which did not happen. So it was just trailing lacklusterly, and then once it reached the PPOC level, this would be your trade location for taking a long. So you could have entered long at 4140, targeting the US session high. So 4140 to 4173. That is a good 33 points move in crude oil futures. Okay. So also one more thing is, I think from 1st of December the crude mini contracts are getting discontinued. So you will be only able to trade with the crude mega lot, which is of 100 contracts. So from what I'm seeing from auction development is, inventory was short, then this is inventory now is going long. So my reference area is the point of control. Then there are some multiple references on the higher side and also on the lower side. We also have this prominent back-to-back point of control sorry, which are still I'll be carrying forward. So there are stops which are built here. So right now it's a sort of stop hunting activity. So if a less number of time is being spent here, and if the auction again reaches within today's range, then this will be a good trade location to take a short, targeting this PPOC level. Okay, because today's low has become weak. It has sellers started stepping in, but there are some trapped sellers, and buyers took the option higher in taking out the stops which are built around today's overnight session. So this is what I'm currently looking at from the crude oil, and with that I would like to end today's session. I would request you to please do like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notified for the live videos and the recorded videos which I'm uploading. And would also request you to please do subscribe to my channel, and please do join my Telegram channel, wherein I'm sharing my analysis on daily basis. Also, you can refer the Google sheet in terms of what is my current performance, what levels I am at there, and to help you understand how I'm actually trading, how much am I earning in that case. Okay. So with that, again, I would like to say thank you again, and ending the session, and let's see how the auction develops tomorrow. Bye for now, and take care.